So many people are listening online or on radio. How do you, as a young artist, find your way through all of these things that are happening?
That's a good question. I've started to really feel like the most important thing as a young artist is to seek out your own voice, to find what it is to be you, what it is that sets you apart. And this is not from, I mean, in the end, this will also help from like a branding standpoint and from a sellability standpoint. But as an artist also, what is it that we do? Are we somebody who plays the standards and plays them really well? There are plenty of people who play them really well, and we already have recordings of Heifetz and Feuermann. Like, do we need another? Is that really what we need? There's something about live music that I think is inherently special, and so I'm reticent to give that up completely. But I do think that we need to expand the notion of what it is to be an artist. And if you look back before the 20th century and look at the famous composers, Brahms, Beethoven, Schumann until he injured his hand, Mozart, Haydn, you name it, they were all performers and composers. And they each had their own unique voice. They did other things. It was a much more rounded musicianship. I think this is very interesting, and exploring these things like improv and the music around you that you love, even if it's not classical, and finding ways to incorporate those is the first step as an artist, to find what it is you're most passionate about and incorporate it into your art. Because when you do that, it's much easier to be honest on stage. Mm-hmm. It's much easier to be honest when you're talking to people about what you do and show them the passion behind it. It's much easier to develop the right relationships around, again, what it is you're passionate about. And that makes it, in turn, easier to make decisions about what you can do to get to the next level and what the next level is. Things like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and recording albums, these are all things that I think need to be decided based on an individual basis, really. I have a YouTube project which has done very well, the Popper Project, and it's kind of blown my mind. I just checked my channel has over 500,000 views, and this was really not for that purpose. So I've had a lot of thinking to do now that I've seen that take off. The purpose of the Popper Project was just to make me practice on a weekly basis. When I first got out of the orchestra, the Seattle Symphony, I wanted something that was every week that I would practice for, instead of the wild concert schedule that is sometimes 4 in a row and then a month off. So I did it for myself, and I posted them online just to have a little bit of pressure for myself to practice to a certain level. 40 etudes, 500,000 views later, I'm really thinking a lot about YouTube and the community of cellists in particular, but also the broader community of YouTube users, and how I can connect with them in a way that is meaningful for me and thus enables me to share more openly.